Hi, my name is Rob Anderson. I'm the product training and demo exec for Pioneer DJ UK. Today I'm up at Get in the Mix, filming some video content for getinthemix.com, and we're going to show you how RekordBox works with the CDJ-900 Nexus. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so looking at the brand new CDJ-900 Nexus, let me take you through what has been changed, what's been implemented into the upgrade from the existing CDJ-900. So, first of all, the first major overhaul and the most major visual difference on this unit is, of course, this huge colour screen that we've got up here. Up until now, this style of screen and this style of browsing through music has kind of been restricted to CDJ-2000 and CDJ-2000 Nexus. So yeah, it's essentially the screen taken straight from that and put into this unit, giving us all the advanced navigation that you get from RekordBox. So if you're using RekordBox analysed files on a hard drive, which I'm going to show you in a moment, we can get full colour display and full access to all of our RekordBox search categories, along with the full detailed lines of information as well. Whereas on the CDJ-900, the original model, we kind of had a small dot matrix on the screen. Sure, on the existing model, this screen was raised a little bit. This screen is flat, more like the look of an old flatbed player like the CDJ-1000. It's kind of taken it back to the original look a little bit, but when you compare the look of the old 900 screen and the visual waveform that we had on there, there's no comparison when you see this working with the CDJ-900 Nexus. So let me show you that first of all before I go into the other things that have been implemented into this upgrade. So, for anyone who's never seen RekordBox, this isn't a video on RekordBox, but I'll briefly touch on it as I've got RekordBox analysed files on this hard disk. Now, RekordBox is a free of charge downloaded desktop piece of software, which is also available as an app for your smartphone as well, and it essentially allows you to import your music into it, and at the same time as categorizing and prepping your music for use on these, you're optimizing the files for use with these as well. So once these tracks have run through the software and then been exported onto this hard disk, they're fully prepped and fully optimized for use with CDJ-2000, CDJ-2000 Nexus and CDJ-900 Nexus as well. So let's see exactly what the difference is. I've got a CD loaded in here. For anyone who's never used this unit before, or a unit like this, we always start with our source select. To the left side of the screen, we've got 4 buttons. Now, because these the buttons we're seeing here, they're not backlit, they're not LED illuminated, and they're not printed either. So we've kind of used a small section of the screen to feature what each button is doing. Each button's function is kind of encroaching on the screen a small bit. If you want the full navigation and the full colour display that's available, then that would be an upgrade into the 2000 Nexus. But yeah, if I choose from the source select disk, because there's a CD in here, we're seeing a list of tracks on here. Track 1, track 2, track 3. Nothing mind-blowing on this display at the minute. If I load up a track, you see I've loaded the track, it's good, it's ready to be played. However, the display that we're seeing on here is not much different. We're currently, now that this track is playing, waiting for this small waveform to load up down at the bottom of the track, which can be irritating, waiting for that. You have to keep jumping back to the start by pressing Q. As well, we're still displayed with the original display we were seeing, browse view, so we're seeing our list of tracks. Now, I'm going to jump to USB mode, and straight away you're going to see a difference. Bang. The first thing we're seeing now is my settings data has been found. Press the menu button to load. This is a really cool feature. We can store the CDJ settings inside RekordBox and then export them to this. So every time you plug this into a CDJ, we can actually load up our utility settings onto the player. Perfect if you're playing in a venue with numerous CDJs. If you're playing somewhere with 3 or 4 CDJs, or even 2, save you messing around with the settings that the other DJ before you or the night before might have messed around with. You can now just press menu, and when I hit load, bang, my screen's got brighter. My tempo range has gone to +6. My master tempo has gone on. We can choose to have the sync button come on, we can choose anything that's in the utility menu in the CDJs section here to instantly load, and that will load up to any other player that's linked up on the Pro DJ link via the LAN cable. So that's a useful time-saving feature. Now what you see in here, straight away, another major difference. We're seeing our advanced navigation. These are the options that I've chosen to have displayed on this player. Playlist, color, bitrate, rating, year. However you choose to find your music, you can have it displayed on here. There's 20 different options to show. Key is a good one. BPM. Now I'm going to go straight into using this rotary pot. I'm going to go into playlist. And I've got my nighttime playlist with 100 and so tracks. I think there's about 150 tunes on here. I'm going to scan to the bottom, get my latest ones, so my newer tracks, and pick one and load it up. Now another, instantly, you see the differences are vast. What you're getting when you use RekordBox as opposed to un-RekordBox analysed files on a hard drive or from playing a CD. Straight away we've got the full waveform display there. Right at the bottom, showing us the entire track. The BPM is now displayed because the hardware doesn't have to read the audio to determine what the BPM is. RekordBox has already done that for us. And mainly, the most beneficial feature is we've got a large waveform display on there. If I hit run, you can see it. What we're getting now, as I zoom into that waveform, I can zoom in, I can zoom back out. We're getting a complete software experience, as if we're DJing from a virtual DJing piece of software, but directly from the hardware. So what are we seeing here? Large color waveform scanning across, letting us see exactly what's going on. Let me zoom in and show that in a bit more detail. We're also seeing some markers that I've highlighted inside RekordBox. These are basically cue points running across the track. So let's say I loaded this track up straight from the start, but every time I play this track I don't want to mix from the start. I can jump to specific cue point markers by pressing the call buttons. If I press this, bang, it's jumped to 44 seconds straight in. I can press it again, it's jumped to the next cue marker. So I can mix from halfway through the track with the touch of a button. The other thing you're seeing, if I zoom in a touch, we've got a beat counter running across the top. Anyone who's used a CDJ-900 Nexus before, you'll be familiar with all of this. It's just essentially bringing that 2000 Nexus functionality onto a lower priced model. We're also seeing next to that, one of my favourite features, a bar countdown. So a beat counter giving us 1, 2, 3, 4, indicating when the downbeat's coming in. And then we've also got our bar counter down. So this is counting down. At the minute it says 44.4. That's counting down how many bars it's going to be until we reach our next cue point. So inside RekordBox, at every drop, I set a cue point. So I always know when the drop's coming. Perfect for them tracks that are running at different phrasing. You know, the producers made drops at 22 bars or 46 bars or an obscure phrased time in that track where the track would change that you might not see it coming. You can mark that, and then you're always going to expect it to appear. You know when it's going to happen. So I'll jump into how this interacts with the player it's linked up to in a moment and show you the sync functionality and the rest of the Pro DJ link functionality. But first of all, let's continue with the changes on the hardware. So first of all, we've got the transport controls. They work in the same way. Cue takes us back to our cue point. Start or pause play starts the track and allows it to roll. We've got a traditional, again, fast forward rewind functionality here. And I'm actually going to jump to this little section first of all, the looping functions, to get a loop running. Anyone who's ever used RekordBox with these players, the Nexus system, you'll know that these are quantized. Provided we got quantize turned on, we can, bang, punch perfect loops in. We can then double them. Double them again. shorten them. That's like the old school manual way of punching in and punching out, except it's quantized. It will always be perfectly matched to the beat grid that RekordBox is assigned to every single track that goes on there. However, on the old 900, the old CDJ-900, we had a whole section of loop templates, like a loop template performance function running down the side here. This has been replaced with beat divide. So say keeping this in line and giving us like a loop template feature, we've got, same as the CDJ-900 Nexus here, featured here, a 4-beat loop button. As soon as I press this, bang, perfect 4-beat loop, and it's indicated up on the display as well. I'm going to exit the loop and hold this down, and you can see it snaps to 8 beats instead. 4, 8, there we go, which can also be manipulated using this. The call button can still half and double the loop time anytime. So I'm going to keep a 32-beat loop running on this track, just while I mess around with the performance features. In fact, I'm going to go back and get a 32-beat loop running from here and show you this new beat divide function we've created. So yeah, in order to show you the beat divide function and demonstrate how that works correctly, you're going to want to make sure that your beat grids are completely tight inside the RekordBox software. So the software, the RekordBox software, assigns a beat grid to every track, which determines the BPM, determines the exact timing of the track, and lets you completely use all the quantized features on the CDJs. If your beat grids are off, then your quantized features are going to be off. For a bit more of a detailed view on how to completely customize your beat grids and a full RekordBox video, please go on the official Pioneer DJ YouTube channel, and you can see some more detailed information on exactly how to get to grips with the software. But if you haven't had time to actually do that and check the beat grids are all correct before your gig, you can do it on the CDJ player as well. You notice I've got zoom mode, which allows me to zoom in and out of this waveform display. I can also hold that down and then change it to grid mode. Then shifting left and shifting right will manipulate my beat grid and shift it either way should it actually be off. So let's hear how it sounds. Got a loop running, 32-beat loop. The beat divide functions, we've got 5 different timing parameters. 1/8 of a beat, 1/4 beat, 1/2 of a beat, and then 2 triplet beat parameters. And you'll hear, if, as it says beat divide, anyone who's used the CDJ-350 will kind of be familiar with this. Let me turn on triplet. It adds an additional step. You can really hear it on the vocals. So let's work our way down the templates. So using a different, different arrangement of each of these buttons, you can come up with some really nice stuttering sounds. Used subtly and used at the right times, you can come up with some really cool creative possibilities with this. Now, they also work with the slip button as well. Slip mode, if I turn that on, we get flashing lights to indicate that that's gone on. It essentially allows me to stop this track while slip mode's running. I need to come out of the loop for it. I've stopped the track using the platter, but you can see the track is still playing underneath, and the bar countdown is still counting down towards the drop. So it's as if the track is slipping underneath me touching this, it's still playing. So you can see I'm on 3 minutes 5 here. Stop the track for a couple of seconds, and when I release it, 3 minutes 10, allowing you to not lose any of the track that's currently playing. You can do reloads, scratches. Now the track's running down to 8 beats away from the drop. You can punch in a loop. And we got a looping section of audio, but the drop's 4 bars away. 2 bars away. 1 bar away. And when you come out of the loop, it jumps back to that place of where it was going to be. However, this is where it's unique on this CDJ, the slip mode, is that it will also work with beat divide. So slip loop is activated as soon as we turn that on, and each of these values work like the 2000 Nexus. We can punch in a quarter beat, and when you let go, it jumps back to where it would have been, allowing you to come up with some nice little stuttering sounds. So that's the unique features on here. Obviously, we've got the beat sync as well, bringing it into the Nexus, the lineup of the Nexus series, the ability, you know, even more software capabilities. Up until this player, beat sync was only ever available in software DJing, you know, having a laptop in the booth with you. So now it's essentially taking the need to have a laptop in the booth with you completely away. No more distracting setups, no more pulling cables out of the back of mixers or finding a place to put your laptop. You can just take this or a USB stick, or if you upgrade to 2000 Nexus, you know, an SD card, and plug it in and you're good to go. Full software experience directly from the CDJ. Now, other features that we've put in that are literally taken straight from the CDJ 2000, and the way I'm going to show you this is jump and load a track up on the player on the other side. So you're going to hear some audio coming from the other CDJ, and straight away the display up on here changes. We can actually see the bar countdown and the beat counter from the master player, because the CDJ 2000 has been selected to be master. Now if I bring in this track, speed it up, horrible out of time mess, hit sync. If your beat grids are off, as that one may be, it's going to sound out of time. So I can just phase this track ever so slightly and put it perfectly in time, just with the touch of a button. As well as take advantage of all the additional RekordBox features that you'll get if you jump on and watch the full RekordBox video. Looking at connectivity, of course we've got the standard CDJ professional connections on there, RCA output as well as digital output, and Pro DJ Link connectivity via Ethernet cable. It's the CDJ-900 Nexus. Okay, so that was the CDJ-900 Nexus in conjunction with Pioneer's RekordBox software. We're up at Get in the Mix, filming this content for getinthemix.com. Get yourselves down to the showroom or check out the rest of the videos online. Thanks for watching.